Hello everybody, this is Kenneth Marks of the Ancestor Hunt. Today I am going to be sharing with you the Arizona Digital Newspaper Program, a site full of many historical newspapers from the state of Arizona, and also when it was a territory prior to 1912. From the mid-1800s through the 1920s, it's approximately 40 or so newspapers, and it is entirely free. So let's take a look at the site and see how we navigate and find some articles of our ancestors. So we'll go to our browser, and up here is the URL adnp.azlibrary.gov/cdm. Before we get started in doing a search, let's take a look at the newspaper directory and see which publications are in it. As you can see, there are about a dozen here on the left, but what makes up the 40 is there are several different names for the Arizona Citizen. As you can see, there is 3. The Arizona Miner, there's about 7 or 8, 3 for the Arizona Republican, 4 for the Arizona Sentinel, etc. So that is what makes up the 40 or so that I mentioned earlier. So let's go over and do a search. I prefer an advanced search myself, so let's click on that. And what you have here is on the left, you have a drop down that says all of the words, any of the words, the exact phrase, or none of the words for your search term. The white block here where you enter your search term. You can search all of the fields or abundance of choices here, title, subject, description, etc. And it does have Boolean and Boolean or options. You have the ability to search by date. You put in a from date and a to date if you wish. You have a choice of which collections you wish. I generally start with all collections, but if you knew, for example, that it was in the Arizona Citizen, you could just check that box and uncheck all of the rest. But we'll leave it at all collections at this time. So what we're going to do now is we will type in a search term. It happens to be the name of one of my ancestors, and we click on search. And it brings up the results. In this case, over here on the right, it tells me there are 34 results. I can sort by relevance, title, date, or coverage. And there are a couple of display options which I won't show you right now, but you can try those for yourself. So let's click on the first image and see what comes up. Here is the page that the result is on. As you can see in the top here, it is a light pink and then a darker pink where the actual article is. So what we want to do is drag that light pink box to cover over the dark pink, and as you can see, here's my article. You can't really read it right now, so let's zoom a bit. We move this little blue button over here to the right, and that actually changes what's displayed, so we need to move it down a little bit more, and there is my article. As you can see, in pink highlights is the search term Bronhardt. Now, if I wanted to save that article, I could go to my snipping tool on my computer, and I could just snip that article right here and save that, and now I've got it. The unfortunate part for me is that I don't like to save articles with the pink highlights, so we're not going to save that right now, but I'm going to show you a couple of options that you have to actually save the articles without the pink highlights. The first is this little clip over here. What you do is you clip on that and you scroll down to find where the article is. It was in the recorder's office section, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little box around some of that, and we're going to scroll up and we're going to click on the crop button, and that brings up the article. Now if I want to use, I could save that image as here, and it's a JPEG image, and change the title, of course, of the file, but let's not do that. If I wanted to actually snip it to make a little bit more of just the article that I want, I can do it this way, and then I would save it, and I would of course change the file name to represent what the article was. So that's how you do it. That's the first way. The second way is you go back and we'll click out of that tab, and over here on the right we've got this little download box, and we click on that. We've got the ability to download the entire page in small, medium, or large format. Let's pick large. I always like to do large because it gives you the ability to show things a little bit better, and we're going to put that on our desktop. And again, I may change the file name, but for now I'll leave it as it is. And here we go. And let's take a look at that JPEG file. And there's the entire page, but as you can see, I can blow that up and it's nice and large. And we'll scroll up a bit. Let's see if we can find that article. There it is. And I can now snip it. And I can save that. So that's it. You've got a couple of options to get the article in a nice, large, displayable and readable format and snip it to the size that you wish. So that's nice. Some of these newspaper sites do not have that capability, and it's a little bit more cumbersome, but this one is quite nice in how it operates. And so the last thing I want to show you is you're obviously going to do a source citation, so you click over here on View Description, and it brings up the description of the title, the volume, issue, edition, issue date, county, etc., etc., etc. So I would save that particular information to go along with the article so that when you are actually citing the source, you have all the information at your disposal and you don't have to go back to the site to find it. So let's go back. And that's it. That's all there is to it, to do a search. Real quickly, you do have the ability to do a browse. You can pick a specific title, and it should be bringing that up now. And then you can, from that, you can pick a date and a publication, etc. And you will have the ability then to browse through that particular collection. Unfortunately, it's a little slow, so we will wait just a moment longer. And let's go back and try that one more time. Let's try the Arizona Miner just for chuckles. See how that works? There we go. And as you can see, the Arizona Miner, it shows March 9th, 1864, March 23rd, April 6th, April 20th. Looks like it's every 2 weeks, this particular publication. And so you can go through and then you can click on one and then browse through the different pages. In this case, this issue had 4 pages, and you see over here on the right, page 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can browse through it that way. But personally, I like to do searches myself. At least start with that, and then if there's something in that particular publication that I want to read the context of what was happening at the time of the article, then I can go to browse and pick the entire newspaper and go through it, read it, and save any other article that might be pertinent. So my friends, that is pretty much all there is to the Arizona Digital Newspaper Program. It is a very well designed site. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorites. And again, it has over 40 newspapers from the mid-1860s through the 1920s. You can search quite easily. It's reasonably fast, except for the little browse function that we just saw. But I encourage you, if you do have ancestors or relatives from the state of Arizona or the territory prior to 1912, take a look at this site. I think you'll enjoy it. And happy hunting.